Hi, everyone. Welcome to Mini Scroll, the daily internet culture podcast bringing you the biggest stories from social media, the creator economy, and the digital space every Monday through Thursday. I'm your host, Lauren Meisner, the founder of the youth digital media brand, Centennial World. Welcome back to Mini Scroll, everyone, and welcome to another new setting. I'm going to be trying out some different spaces this week since I have 3 days left of this cottagecore vibe. My parents are out right now, and I was like, why don't I just record in the main area? The windows are so big, and hopefully the lighting is okay. I am recording this a bit late. It is 6:30 p.m., so the sun is starting to kind of go down, but I think the lighting is going to be okay. Anyways, so yes, I am going to Europe, as you guys know, for a friend's wedding. Europe in a Cosy Lives is a bit stressful, but this was planned 2 years in advance, and who could have known? But anyways, yeah, so I am really, really excited to be taking that break. And if you guys do want to keep up with me and you want my opinions on stuff that's happening in pop culture in real time, I do post on my Instagram stories every once in a while if something major happens. When I was in Fiji last year, Scandival broke. And so even though I wasn't technically working, I was on a vacation with Sean and a bunch of his friends. I was out here, I was posting, I was giving my updates, I was giving my opinions. So definitely keep up with me. My Instagram is at @LaurenMeisner_. So the first story that I have for you guys is that Jools Lebron, who was the creator of the demure trend, is struggling to monetize this trend after a random man trademarked the saying before she could. So by now we know the demure trend is literally everywhere. It's also very on LinkedIn. I don't know if anyone else is on LinkedIn. I have to be on LinkedIn for founder vibes. Oh my God, every second post, I swear, is someone in corporate America posting about how this is demure and this is mindful. It is so cringe. It's like the TikTokification of LinkedIn. No one take that. I'm going to make that into a deep dive, actually. Okay, so many good things have come out of demure for Jools, right? She gained over 1 million followers in just a couple of weeks. She's now able to pay for the rest of her transition, as she said in one video. And most recently, she also revealed that she was able to get one of her best friends out of a really bad living situation because of all the money that she's been making from the TikTok Creator Fund on these videos. So she was able to move her best friend into her house, which is just so sweet. But now, just a few weeks after Jools posted her first viral video using demure, a random man in Colorado has trademarked the catchphrase, very demure, very mindful, preventing Jools from further making money on the trend in terms of merch or even brand deals that would want her to use that saying, and maybe they would want to have it, in the video itself or something like that. It just limits her commercial viability for using that saying so much now. Interestingly, this same man, according to Diet Prada, also trademarked or has tried to trademark several other catchphrases related to the NFL. So he's tried to trademark "Let's Ride," "Go Broncos, Let's Ride," and "Take Command" as examples. So Jools revealed that the trademark was taken. She revealed this in a TikTok video that has now been deleted. She said she feels like she really dropped the ball because she wanted this moment for her to really be the thing that helped her, complete her transition and help her family out. Now, it is important to note that this man does not own the trademark yet. It is still pending. So now there are literally hundreds, if not thousands of people on TikTok that are making videos, commenting, getting in touch with Jools, trying to explain to her and give her advice and help. And notably, a creator named Raluca's Not Vibing Right Now actually trademarked very demure, very cutesy. And she made a video saying this video is for Jools. I know you're going through a lot right now. I know that asshole trademarked very demure, very mindful. I trademarked very demure, very cutesy, and I want to transfer it to you. So can you guys get this video to Jools, which is just so sweet. So I think they're in the process now. She made a little update. They're in the process now of transferring that trademark free of charge to Jools, which is very, very sweet. But this is just so classic. Don't you guys think this is so classic? Some man, I'm assuming he's a white man. I saw people calling him a white man. I assume he's a white man, just coming out here and taking this thing from this trans woman who is literally just trying to get by and obviously was going to either make his own merch or something off of it or, try and sell it back to Jools. So it's just so exploitative and so disgusting. And I know this is just kind of how it works in business, But this particular situation is so beyond icky. And I really, really hope that Jools is able to get at least something out of this. Like, I hope that even if that guy's trademark goes through, I feel like it might not. I don't know how it works if things become like public outrage, but like, even if that trademark goes through, I hope that she can get very demure, very cutesy. I hope that she can still use these phrases commercially somehow. They're technically already kind of like in use, which I know is to her benefit. So I don't know, but I'll keep you guys posted if there are any other updates. Okay, and the last story that I have for you guys, BookTok, is coming for commentary creator Mina Le after her review of My Brilliant Friend. So for context, My Brilliant Friend was voted the #1 book of the 21st century by the New York Times critics. So Mina read it and she made a TikTok review on it. And she said she found that the book, the way it was written, was very impersonal. She said that the narrator was emotionally distant. And because of that, she didn't really care about what was happening. She did say that the friendship between Elena and Leela, I think that's how you say their names. I'm really sorry if that is not, was, very emotional, beautifully written. She was like, I really felt that. This book is one of 4 in a series about the complicated intensity of female friendship. And I think it's really interesting that her review is getting so much backlash. I mean, we know that BookTok is one of the scariest corners of the internet, and it's seeped into Twitter too. So Mina actually doesn't have Twitter anymore because of how toxic it can be. She's actually deleted Twitter, but she is all over Twitter right now because people are in shock that she didn't like this book. And one of the most common criticisms is that she must have not understood it. And that is why I wanted to talk about this story specifically, because I was watching a video, I was watching all of the criticism come in, the backlash, and just thinking this is actually insane. This is about a book. This is not about anything that serious. And then I saw a video from Anastasia Garcia, and she made such a good point. She was questioning the backlash, and she said,
why does disliking something automatically mean that you didn't understand it and then also didn't have the capability to understand it? I will say, I haven't read the books. I've been planning on it, so this isn't a discussion of the quality of the books. But I've seen so many stitches of this video, so many videos about this video, so much discourse on Twitter, which is, you know what I mean? Where people are saying that she's stupid and that she obviously doesn't get it. While I think some of it was pointed directly to what she said in her review, so I'm not really discussing those things, it's very interesting that there's this assumption when people they don't understand the love of something, that means they don't understand the material, period.
We're in this weird time in internet culture where if you have an opinion on something like this, I'm gonna make that caveat on something that is as low stakes as if you like a book or not, but obviously this book means a lot to people. So if you have an opinion that on art, for example, that goes against the grain, that goes against the common opinion, the general consensus online, especially on TikTok, it's the criticism is always, you're not smart enough to understand it. And that argument reminds me of how people also weaponize morality in online spaces as well. There's just so much performance. People use these arguments. I understand. I'm sure that book moved you. I'm sure it was very important to you, but people can have other opinions about something as subjective as art. And it doesn't mean that they're stupid, and it doesn't mean that they don't understand it. And people are using these arguments to assert their own intelligence and to make themselves feel better about liking the book, because obviously that opinion saying I felt it was emotionally distant and it wasn't, it was kind of impersonal. If you really liked that book and you're singing its praises and it really moved you, it feels I suppose, an attack on how you perceived the book and on your intelligence. And so therefore everyone's well, you just didn't understand it. And I just so strongly disagree with the criticism against Mina specifically. She is so intelligent. She is so thoughtful in her content. If you have ever watched one of her videos, she is one of the best commentary creators on YouTube, full stop. She is making quality content because she is so perceptive and so intelligent. She is just the opposite of someone who doesn't understand media and art. in my opinion. Okay, you guys, I actually finished the episode and I was starting to edit it, and then Annabelle messaged me and she was like, emergency, Alix Earle has addressed her old Ask FM tweets or messages, posts, and I was like, oh my God. Okay, so I've turned the camera back on. I hope that everything's fine. I hope the lighting's fine. But anyways, okay, so Alix Earle has finally addressed her old Ask FM posts where she said the N-word multiple times. Over the last couple of weeks, several screenshots have resurfaced from posts that Alix made back in like the mid 2010s. So the way that this came about, it was kind of in the middle of the Brooke Schofield stuff. Over the last maybe week, it's really picked up and more people were starting to talk about it. I didn't want to address it until she made a statement. I figured she would make a statement, only because I kept seeing that she would send or her lawyers would send cease and desist and legal letters to people that were talking about it. And honestly, my mental health can just not handle that. Even if it's a bullshit cease and desist, I just could not handle getting any type of legal letter related to this. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to wait and see how this plays out. So anyways, she has now addressed it. So she posted this on Instagram stories and also TikTok stories. Interestingly, not on her grid, and didn't make a video about it. She wrote, a couple of weeks ago, screenshots surfaced from my old Ask FM account showing me using a slur in the summer 2014. I am taking accountability and want to make it clear that I was 13 years old and did not understand the deeply offensive meaning behind that word. That is no excuse for using that word in any context or at any age. That is absolutely not the way I speak or what I stand for. I am deeply sorry that my words have hurt many and have led people to believe that I have any prejudice in my heart. I promise you that could not be further from the truth. My platform has always been focused on positivity, entertainment, and uplifting others, and I will continue to do so. I am sincerely sorry to those I have offended. I regret how I handled this situation, allowing too many people to talk me out of saying something for too long. I wasn't sure how to handle it, and unfortunately, the advice I was given, although well-intended, was wrong. There is no one to blame but myself for not standing my ground and going with my gut to speak out right away. So then she addresses two rumors. The first rumor is that she trademarked these screenshots. The reason why people thought this was because the Do We Know Them podcast said that they got a cease and desist for their subreddit, which actually has nothing to do with the podcast. Like fans, right, can make subreddits for creators, for influencers, for celebrities, and for podcasts. And so they're like, we didn't even make this. And so we have no control, but those screenshots were posted in the subreddit. Apparently, allegedly, they got a cease and desist or some type of legal letter from Alix's team. And in it, one of the things that it said that these screenshots being posted on Reddit was violating was trademark infringement or something like that. And so, sorry, I obviously had no time to prep this story, so I'm just going off what I remember. So everybody was like, oh my God, did she trademark, or someone on her team trademark these screenshots so that they could send cease and desist and things like that, get them taken down? So she said that's not true. The other rumor she says is not true is that Larsa Pippen from Real Housewives of Miami, her brand spoke out and said, we will no longer be working with Alix Earle. And I don't know if that was fact or not, or if that was a doctored or a fake screenshot that was going around, Instagram story of Larsa's that was going around. I didn't see it, but she says that was not true. She's never worked with that brand and they were not in talks to do partnerships with it. And then she finishes by saying, regardless of what has been said online, I wanted to come on here to address the facts and most importantly, apologize. So that's Alix's response to the Ask FM stuff. And I think it was strategic for sure for her to not post that on Grid, to not make a video of it. I think it was definitely written by a team, but I wouldn't be surprised. She definitely has a big team around her. I don't know, when the Brooke stuff happened, I said, it just keeps fucking happening. And I told you guys about how one of my friends was like, I literally cannot trust any white influencer anymore. And yeah. Anyways, guys, that's it for Mini Scroll today. Thank you so much for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. I love you guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.